What is good, everyone? This is your host, Deanna Radulescu with Label Free Podcast. Live your best life. You must live label free. I'm super pumped. Got another total boss babe. She's part of my tribe now. Woo woo. She is a leader, an executive leader, business automation guru, operations and mastermind, a champion for women in the workforce, and has revolutionized how we lead, grow, and scale businesses. She is also the CEO of hUman, globally recognized mental health and human wellness company. Well, I stumbled there for a minute, which is huge, especially this day and age. Please welcome Melissa Mellor to the show. Did I say that correct?
Mellor, but it doesn't matter.
You know,
it doesn't matter. I'm here. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being here. I am excited. So you are a total boss babe. Like, you're part of my tribe now. I love it.
Woo-hoo!
Yeah, I know. So you know what I find very interesting, what I love about guests like you is like their story, right? And where they come from and what they've kind of broken out of and started and created something amazing of their own. So you were, like a lot of other people, you were in the corporate business realm and for 15 years, and you actually broke out of that.
It was scary and the best decision I ever made. I will never forget this moment of change. It was like this massive epiphany. The events leading up to it, I just had my third baby. I had spent 15 years in hazardous waste, like many industries, very male dominated. And it's not that I didn't like my work. I never thought I would be in hazardous waste. That wasn't my deep desire when I went into business school. But I really loved the people that I worked with. I loved the work that I did. And that almost overshadowed all the personal sacrifices that my human was taking in order to succeed, right? Oh, I feel so lucky I have a flexible workplace, or I work with really great people. And it's really easy to overlook the long hours, the personal sacrifices, the working through lunches, the burnout, the exhaustion. And as a woman, especially in the workplace, as a mom, I was also carrying, my kids, taking them to school, doing drop off, making lunches, like being their person, bathing them, the bedtime routine, all of the things. And I remember one night I was standing in my kitchen making lunches at like 9 p.m. and I just had this like out of body experience. And I remember specifically thinking, if my life is the sum of its parts, what the hell is this? Every day was just like on autopilot. And I felt like I desired so much more zest, more passion, more excitement, more freedom. And I felt like I was in this, I was living in a trap that I created for myself. Yeah. And I remember speaking with my husband. I'm in Canada, so I have the luxury of a 12-month mat leave. And I remember sitting down with my husband. I had started my business, business management company. And I said, like, I do not want to go back to work. And he knew this for a while, and we were kind of quote unquote working towards it. Yeah. And, he wants to play it safe. And he's like, well, can you build your business up on the side? The good old side hustle. Prove to me that you can be profitable without a safe workplace. And then you can quit your job, or then you have that safety net to quit your job. And I remember sitting in our basement, and I just had like literal tingles running through my body as he was giving me all the rationalized reasons or the logical, safe way that I should, stop my safe employment. And I had a 6-figure income. Like, it wasn't like I was walking away from a measly income. I was making good money. And so that was scary. It was scary to walk away from it. And I said to him, like, I know you can't understand this, but I can feel this in my bones. Like, I need to do something different. And I said, I know you're not going to understand it. I know that that's super scary for you, but don't put me in a position where I have to pick between your safety and your emotional well-being and mine, because I can't explain it, but like, I need to make a change. And it was the biggest, scariest, most exhilarating leap of faith, but I'm a totally different person now because of it. And I'm so excited to share my story and everything that I've learned along the way so that other people can have that same experience.
I love that. And look at how you just smile and you're glowing as you like that story. And I think that too, like when you're kind of going between two things and you don't actually just pull the trigger and just decide to go for it, it kind of like holds you back a little bit. Cause I was kind of like that too. So when I just decided I'm not going back to the corporate world, like more and more doors started opening up for me and my life just, it completely changed. So
Yes.
I wanted that safety net. So it's kind of like your husband. Like I needed that safety net. Like, oh shit. But when you bet completely on yourself, it's amazing. Like what happens. Like, so I get
Who wants to walk into an opportunity with one foot out the door?
right.
Like we do that so much because we think that that's like our grounding. But what if both feet in that new room is your new grounding space? But that's, all we hear is how scary it is. All we hear is the fails. All we hear is the quote unquote responsible decisions that we're supposed to make. And we don't even realize we're doing it at the sacrifice of our internal happiness. And maybe for somebody, quit walking away from corporate and starting their own business or completely changing what they do in their career doesn't sound activating, but it's about tuning into what feels really good for you and then going with it. For some people, that might mean not working 60 hours a week
Yeah. Sure.
and getting over that fear of what happens on the other side.
I completely agree in regards to like following your passions. If you're not feeling fulfilled and you have something that you believe that you should go after, I think you owe it to yourself to follow your gut and trust trust yourself really, because it boils down to trusting and having faith in what you're capable of.
Absolutely. And for me, what I was really passionate about, what I really desired, it wasn't so much to necessarily be in business for myself. It was freedom and flexibility and to feel valued. Yeah. And to date, I hadn't found that in another company. And so I was like, I'm going to do this myself and I'm going to build this myself and I'm going to hire, whomever, but I was really attracted to women that I really wanted to give them a good income and freedom and flexibility because I don't believe we need to choose. I do not believe that in order to be an engaged mother, that means if you take an afternoon off to attend a field trip or to be present with your children, that means you need to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday to get work done. That is just an exchange of time. That's not freedom. Right. And I remember when I connected with Sarah Longoria, who is the founder of hUman and the rapid relief technique, which is our proprietary technique that we use to actually heal mental health issues, not just teach people how to cope with it. I was her business management consultant. And I remember, my business was growing. There was another TSN turning point in like a 3-month span. And I remember her getting on a call with me and saying, what do I have to do so that you're 100% mine? And it was like, I knew the answer again in my bones. Like, yes, obviously, like this is where I'm supposed to be. But all that fear set in again on, oh my God, what if I end up becoming a workaholic to line somebody else's pockets? What if I don't get the freedom and the flexibility and the value that I deeply desire? Which it wasn't that wasn't the case. And I knew that I needed to work through all of the emotions. And I'm thankful I had the tools to acknowledge and work through that. But now it's, in addition to hUman, it's our goal to teach companies how to actually foster an environment where this type of freedom and flexibility can exist for employees. Because a lot of times companies, that is scary for them. Giving people, enough rope until they hang themselves, like as the saying goes, that's very scary for companies because they don't. Right now we're in this exchange, you're my asset for 8 hours a day and billable hours and EBITDA and profit margin. And we don't know how to look at business from a different lens and see the ingenuity and the loyalty and the true engagement that comes from activating the whole, what I call activating the whole human, not just the part of them that you get a return on your investment for. I talk a lot about humans being like a piece of equipment. Sure. When you have let's say a car, some people, of course, buy a car, they don't put a cent into it and they drive it until it dies and it doesn't last very long. But a lot of people follow a general maintenance schedule. They make sure their tires are rotated. They do their regular oil changes. They put a lot of time and money into ensuring that that asset is reliable for them, that it has an extended lifespan, that it's safe. And what we do to our employees is we throw them a staff barbecue on Fridays and tap in a keg once in a while and say, we're a really fun and free work environment. And we're not actually investing into the whole human. And so my passion is to show companies and employers how to talk to their whole human in a way that actually doesn't cost a lot of money. And then when you can do that, you have this really beautiful community and level of engagement out of your people that is organic. And that's the type of tribe I think a lot of companies are aspiring to create, but they're pandering as opposed to cutting right to the core.
Yeah. So I've got many questions. So let's backtrack a little bit. Tell us about hUman, because I love the name. And I love that you say that you are a mental health and human wellness company. So talk to us a little about the background and what you guys are all about.
Yeah. So we are a mental health and human wellness company, and our goal is to teach people how to be happy. And that sounds so simple and also so complex, all rolled into one, especially the world that we live in right now. Mm-hmm. But we have our proprietary technique. It's called the rapid relief technique. And it essentially teaches people how to heal and express their emotions so that they're not carrying their emotional baggage with them through life. A lot of times in the mental health space, what we're seeing people learn how to cope with their emotions. They learn how to understand them. They learn how to tolerate them. They learn how to understand where they're coming from. But as adults, we don't know how to actually feel our emotions. And if you look at how most of us were raised, you had a temper tantrum when you were 2, and it was like, cut it out, cut it out, go to your room, enough, right? We're penalized for having an emotion. And so now as adults, we're dealing with really big shit. We're dealing with big stuff and we don't know how to deal with our emotions. And so the rapid relief technique is a life skill that we're learning as an adult to teach adults how to actually access emotions, because there's a lot of crap layered on top of layers on top of layers that are creating our boundaries. We teach people how to access the emotions and release them so that we're not carrying them with us throughout our life. And it's one of the most transformational techniques I've ever seen. And it's really amazing when people have done different modalities in the past. This kind of cuts through all the crap. And then I call it eliminates the silo effect. Because a lot of times we deal with an isolated incident, right? My parents' divorce, my divorce. I'm dealing with a child that is neurodiverse. We're dealing with a very isolated incident. But what the rapid relief technique does is, because you're going to that core emotion, it not only heals that isolated incident, but it heals that emotion in every aspect of your life. So as an example, if you have an emotion where you're frustrated, say with an employee is not performing, the rapid relief technique teaches you, I call it your root cause emotional intelligence. It gets to the root of why that emotion is there. When you heal the reason why your employee is frustrated, or you're frustrated with your employee, let's say, for example, they're not performing to your expectations, they're a disappointment. You heal how other people become disappointments in your life. You heal how you show up for your spouse. You stop being disappointed with your children. You can become so much clearer. You have better relationships with your parents, because that sense of disappointment typically is coming from the top down. It just changes how you interact with customer service people. You're just that feeling of being constantly disappointed is gone. And so you can take a lifetime or a full 360 degrees of an experience and heal it in one moment. And it's quick and it's amazing.
What is good, everyone? This is your host, Deanna Radulescu with Label Free Podcast. Live your best life. You must live label free. Can we get a round of applause today? Woo! Today I'm excited to announce Manscaped launched their Ultra Premium Collection. Believe it or not, it's for your not so private parts. I'm talking about leveled up hygiene routine with your favorite manly scent. And let me tell you something. Oh, it smells so good. My man wears this every day. This is an all-in-one skin and hair care kit for the everyday man and covers you from head to toe. Manscaped is trusted below the waist. Now trust them with the rest. Join the 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com and use the code LABELFREE20 for 20% off and free shipping. And enjoy. That sounds like phenomenal. And so I'm a big proponent, in making sure you have a good mental health. I feel like that's something that we should always be mindful of and be working on so that we live a very well-rounded life and that we are showing up for as the best version of ourselves that we can. And so for what you guys offer, is it strictly for other organizations, or do you do it like on a personal level as well?
Yeah, we do both. So we teach companies how to institute this as a part of their leadership. But actually our core is individuals who come in, they become a part of our membership. They learn the core technique. You can actually learn the core technique for free. I remember when we were creating hUman, I said to Sarah, like this, I really feel like this work is like the solution to our problems. And so we felt very strongly that knowing the technique wasn't a luxury that only people with disposable income should be able to afford. So you can actually learn the technique 100% for free. But inside our membership, you learn how to move from a reactive state, i.e., there's an event, I use the technique, and you learn how to heal proactively. So you're no longer dealing with like, my husband is annoying me, my kids, and you need to run out of the room so you don't blow a gasket. You actually can, we call it healing forward. You can heal in advance of those situations coming up so that it feels really easy and it doesn't feel like this heavy, lifelong endeavor and this constant struggle that you're trying to overcome.
Where can people find you guys, connect with you, or what does that look like when they do reach out to you and are able to, I heard you say membership a couple times. So if you can just kind of give us the links and tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, you bet. So whether you're a company or you're an individual, if you head over to heyouhuman.com, all of the information is there. If you're somebody who's interested in learning the technique for free, there's a link on our website, learn the rapid relief technique for free. Very easy, click, you get access, lifetime access. If you're interested in the membership, there is also the option to join the membership right on our website. The spiel is that it's $97 a month. You also can do 12 months at a time and get a discount for $9.97 for 12 months. Inside the membership, this is the fun part. The membership itself, we call it like, it's a VIP experience, but for group pricing. So you get access to our course, which is called The Foundation. And it's called The Foundation because it's really building a strong foundation for your emotional intelligence, for how you react, for how you just experience life. This is like a new life skill. You get access to the course. Inside of the course, there are weekly live Q&As. The course itself has a community where you can ask questions, connect. It's amazing how many people have built friendships, relationships, business partners just through being a part of our community. The community itself, it's not like one of those free communities where you just get like members to like weigh in on whatever question you have. The community is moderated by our RRT certified practitioners. So you're going to get time and attention and resources from people who are fully certified level 1 or level 2 certified in the technique. So that's one aspect of the membership. In addition to that, we have daily, we call it our daily dose. It's daily live doses of energy, love, inspiration, connection every single morning for 10 minutes. We just tune into our energies, our intentions, just to set a really conscious time for yourself and to align like what's going on in your body. What do you need to work on? And that's daily, every single day. And then there's also over $2,000 worth of additional training if people are interested in learning more about, say, money or parenting or sexuality or your body or your chakras, if you're more into more spiritual type stuff. over $2,000 worth of training available. And last, but certainly not least, we have VIP pricing for one-on-one support. So if you're stuck on something, it's not like you need to pay hundreds of dollars for a therapist. You can book a one-on-one session, VIP pricing. And those one-on-one sessions are like, honestly, I do not exaggerate when I say this, like 10 years of therapy in an hour, because they are expertly trained on getting right to that root emotion. They are trained to pick that up in the first 10 minutes of your session and then lead you through the rapid relief technique to actually release it quickly. It's magic.
That is phenomenal. So one question I always like to ask when somebody's offering something like this, who is your ideal client or ideal member, someone that would benefit from utilizing the services that you guys provide?
I would say the ideal human would be somebody who feels like there's more out there for them. If you're stuck in kind of consumption mode, trying to hack life, you've done so many different things and you're just ready to finally see a lasting transformation, that is where our membership comes in. I talk a lot about all the different modalities out there, and I call them kind of an even sum game. A lot of times you have one step forward, one step back, two steps forward, one step back. And so you get a glimmer of hope of progress, but you always end up coming back to where you started or just a little bit above. And when we're stuck in this cycle, we get into consumption cycle because we're addicted to the result, but we're not experiencing a lasting transformation. I call them micro results or pseudo results. You are addicted to like, oh, I know that there's more out there. I saw it work. And if I just try a little bit harder, if I just invest this money, or maybe this is the answer to my questions, or this is the answer to my problems. If you've been in that cycle, rut, lifestyle, our membership is phenomenal because it cuts through all the cracks and it actually changes your DNA. So there's a lot of our science is inside of the membership. These are, when you kind of bounce back to where you're starting, they're called set points. You have DNA set points. And what this actually does is, I also call it like an anchor. It's this set point that like almost holds you back. And the RRT is what allows you to kind of cut off that anchor and create a new set point for yourself. So you're no longer coming back to your coded bare minimum. You can release that energy, you can release those emotions, and then create a new set point for yourself. So it's a true transformation as opposed to just a pseudo result.
Wow, that is amazing. I'm gonna have to go take the free training or whatever.
Please do.
Myself, so that I can be, I can say, hey, yeah, this works. I know you already said the link before, but can you just say the link one more time? So
yes, absolutely. So it's www.heyuhuman. So that's HEYUHUMAN.com. What I forgot to say, sorry, because I talk a lot. If you're a company this is also on our website, but if you're a company that is listening and you're very intrigued about a new way to lead and to structure your organization, we have a business and partnership section where you can book a one-on-one call with myself or Sarah. I don't have any tailored packages to talk about because it really depends on the organization, what they're looking for, the size, all of the things. But we're a very people-first organization. And so we really like to look at the company, the leader, and what they're looking to achieve before we put random pricing out there, because it really is a tailored experience.
Yeah. You guys, I'm going to put the link in the show notes. So don't hesitate to click the link, go check out the free training. And if you're interested in furthering your mental health and wellness, then go ahead and sign up for that membership. One last question, and then we're going to come to the end. How important or vital is it for organizations to start offering something like this to improve the culture of their organization these days?
Oh, it's so important. And I think a lot of companies are trying. They're really trying to do it. They're trying to be more mindful. They're trying to, I don't think people want their staff to come to work and hate their life every single day. Like if that's a conscious decision that you're making about your culture, like yucky, I hope you don't last too much longer. But what I see companies are doing is they're pandering. they're putting a Band-Aid on the issue. They're saying, you're overworked, we're going to reduce your workload. You don't like Jane? Okay, well, we'll put you on a different portfolio. Oh, you need more time off? Okay, no problem. You can work 80%, we'll cut your salary. We're kind of pandering to the problem as opposed to solving it. The newest thing I heard of is companies are now giving mental health weeks in light of COVID. So they're giving mental health weeks off, which I always kind of laugh because I'm like, have we gotten so far that literally our vacation time is just assumed that you're going to work? So now we have to have a whole other week or two saying you don't need to work these weeks. Like we're kind of throwing spaghetti at a wall, and it provides us, again, that pseudo relief. It gives us a moment of reprieve, but it doesn't solve the problem because we are not dealing with the core emotions. And what we found with the companies that we've worked with is their expenses actually go way down because you don't have disability claims. You don't have paid time off. You don't have people who are on medications. You don't have people taking stress leaves because their human is healed. Their human is happy and they're comfortable in themselves and they're not second guessing themselves when they're walking into an office or into a meeting. They're not afraid to speak up. They're not afraid to have ingenious ideas. They're not afraid to take initiative, because those emotions that were previously holding them back are gone. So it's kind of like, the exact opposite of what we think we're supposed to do, but we can all see that what we're doing isn't working.
Exactly.
Time for something radical.
I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much for sharing all that. And you guys go click that link. I think that whether you or your organization goes to check them out, what Melissa and her team are doing, I think you can benefit at least from doing the free training and then take it from there. So before we say goodbye, I always like to ask for any last words of wisdom or advice. So although you've dropped a lot of knowledge, you're an incredibly intelligent woman. That's why you're part of my Boss Babe tribe. What are some last words of wisdom you'd like to leave for the audience?
I think my very last words are, you're worth it. You are worth whatever it is that you desire.
Simple and sweet and to the point. I love it. Thank you, Melissa, for being an incredible guest today. I'm super pumped and excited to watch hUman soar and make a positive impact across the world, because we know that these days it's just desperately needed for people to take care of their well-being and their mental health more than anything. So
absolutely.
Thank you guys do.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. You guys, this is your host, Deanna Radulescu with Label Free Podcasts. Live your best life. You must live label free. Please don't forget to subscribe, follow, rate, review, comment, share, all those good things. And I'll be back soon with more dynamic guests.